Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. My name is Mukhtar Awfade. Today our topic is how livestock support Somali economy. Uh, we know our country when we are looking like for the side of economy, our country depends on only three things. First one is farming, the other one is fishing, the other one is livestock. So how that livestock can support our Somali economy or our economy? So we have one of the best resources that every country doesn't have. When we are talking like we have like three of the most important things that is really very important to have every country. Our country now is full of like everything and also full of property, but the problem is a lack of knowledge. Even with it is not with us, but it is lack of knowledge most of the problem. So how can the livestock help us like for the sake of economy? Right now, alhamdulillah, we have like the livestock is solving us a lot of problem because we trade. When we are talking like Somali, we trade a lot of like animals or livestock like sheep, camel, everything we like export with the other countries like the Emirates and also like Dubai, all of them. So, but although we are like we are exporting like the livestock right now, but we didn't like still we didn't like stand at the place that we need like to stand. When you are talking like the country that have like the most camels, I think it's Somalia. It's one of Somalia can enter like top 10. So when we look like the other countries or the developed countries, how like they use and how they feed the animals is really and also totally different with the how we feed our animals. So the matter is like the first matter is how we like feed our animals. So as we know, like when you look like the Arabian countries like Saudi Arabia and also like Emirat and also like Qatar, so they have livestock. Although they are not like they are not too much, but they have. But how they feed and also how they feed is really so professional. But we are like using in our country like as the traditional. We like move from the home like the livestock animals or even like the cows, camels, all of them, like we move like from the home, then we say like one boy or two boys like follow these animals, then feed them, then you will come back like tonight. So that is really big problem. We have like two problems. The animals are like tiring. The animals are tiring, and also like and they didn't like be fed like quickly. And also the other children like, also they are tiring because uh 20 12 hours they were like going back they were going like home, then they were like they were staying all of that time in the forest. Sometimes they didn't get like a lunch. Some of them they like feel like thirst, so they didn't have water. That's a really big problem. And also like the animals they were tiring. So to get that animals like to be like fat is really so hard because of uh, the way they were getting fed or the way we are feeding. So that's really so traditional. So if like we convert that traditional to the other new and also the new model, like how the other people like the other countries are feeding their animals, so we can produce like more than what we are producing right now. As we although we are using like the traditional like trade or something like that, but also we are the best, but we can be also like more productive than if you use like the modern ones, or the modern like feeding, how to feed the animals. So you see like the European countries, they use like, they build like a hole, and then they collect a lot of like livestock, then they feed that place. Then you see like after few months, or after few days, the the cow, or like the animal that you have seen already was thin, but you will see like you change it and also be big, it will be big. So that's why because the animals is resting, and also is getting like fresh food, you know. That's really, and and you will be rested because of you are not doing nothing. So how can we get that? How can we get that? It's really connected like to like farming. It connects like, if we produce like what they were eating, because if you didn't like produce the what you are going like to feed the animals, so you can't like collect at a place, and also you can't like give something because you are not producing. So it connects like the farming. The farm, when firstly, well, the first important thing is farming. Then when we farm, like we have like when we farm, like then we collect the or we when we like harvest the farm, so we'll get like what we are feeding like the animals, we will get like to the farm, and also we get like the farm what we are also using for ourselves, what we are eating. So the two importance is, we are feeding ourselves, and also we are feeding our animals, that they are connected together, and also we are also getting advantage with the animals because they were producing us meat, and also like milk. So we can also use like to export with the other countries. At that time, it's also like so important. They are also so fat with the, when we combine like the other animals that we are like feeding as the traditional. So how can we move from the traditional feeding of the animals to convert our like livestock to feed like as the modern? That's reality. That's the trick that is inside that place. So to get that, we must farm something. They are connecting together. There is no like separate thing, because you can't buy every day like what you are going to feed your animals. So you can't buy, because that's really like also a problem. That's really a big problem. So you can't pay like your bill, and also you can't pay the bill of the animals without what? Without farming. So also if you wanna like to get a good milk, and also like fresh milk, and also milk, that's really like more milk, and also you want to produce more milk. So you must like you must feed the animals as the as the modern, the new modern. And also if you wanna like to feed your animals as a new modern, and you wanna to left from the traditional modern, so you must farm something. So at that time we will get like a good advantage with that place to produce like meat, fresh meat, and also like milk, more milk, and also like to produce also to export uh, animals or livestock that have that really like strong in physically, and also like have a good health, you know, a healthy, like we will export like a healthy animals. So I hear it like as we know, I hear it, and also like I watched a video that someone that have experience, that have more experience for the exporting of the animals. He used it, that one is a businessman. I didn't remember his name. He was like talking with some TVs. Then he said, I tried like to export animals. So especially like he tried like to export the sheep. He collected like 3,000 sheeps. He told that's not really. It's not like only. It is not a history. So he said like we take like 3,000 like sheeps. Then at that time when we are taking from Somalia, they were healthy. He said at that time they were healthy. So we take like the sheep with sheep. Then we take like to Saudi Arabia. For he said like when we are like when we are passing like at the middle, and as we going like to at that time we are going like to Saudi Arabia. He said the sheep get like disease. They get like common cold, not even like a big deal. They get like common cold affected the sheep because he said like they laid inside the and they laid like in the sea. So they say they laid in the ocean. So when they take like when they went to like Saudi Arabia and then they landed and the also the business the Saudi Arabia businessmen came, the people that are like using like to make business with the animals. Then they came, then like because if the new trade comes, also like the people also like the brokers they came, then they look what you bring. So when they came, he said they sent like a doctor. They sent like a doctor. So the doctor like is used like to look like the if they to look like if these animals have a disease or if they are healthy. So at that time he was checking the health of the animals. Then he didn't like he can't like you check all of them that 3,000, but he said like every 10 sheep he will test one. Every 10 sheep he will check one sheep. So that's they take like as a percentage. So he said like he collected like everything and also like he check it. Then most of them they have like a disease. So the problem, the disease doesn't come like they didn't have like that disease when they were taken from Somalia, but the disease like held like when they were going to when they are going to Saudi Arabia in the road, in the ocean, inside the ocean. So the people say, the brokers say we don't, and also the businessman said we don't need these animals. We don't need. You can back to your home. You can back to your country. We don't want to like animals that have disease. We don't want to like to eat this or like to buy this. That's really a big problem, and also like it's really a huge, a big loss. So he said like we went back because you don't have you don't have other choice. The only choice that you have is to bring back your animals or to back your animals with your country. That's only the choice that you have. Then he said like we pack to they can't reach Somalia quickly. Then he said like we back like to Yemen. So he said when they landed in Yemen, he said like the police and also the commanders the commanders of the police and also like the military, he said like they come us, then they look all the animals, then they take the one that has the healthy one. They don't even need the sick one. Then everyone comes like he took his like the healthy one is. You can't stop that person. You are not staying in your country. You don't have like anything because you can't control it. The control is not in your hand. So he said they take most of them. Then he said after that they come back to Somalia. Then they sold all the sheeps. All the sheeps. They sold all the sheeps. So he said that person like he was telling like an amount I think they take like 3,000 3,000 sheep. Then he lost all of them. He said, I think, I can't remember right now. He said like, I get that 7,000 or that $7, something like he says that thing. I only come by. He said like, I came back Somalia at that time that I was having only that $35. He say I think it was like that. That is really a big loss and also like a big problem. So but if we check like when we are exporting our animals, that's really so important. And also like to like and also like it's really very important. The livestock is really very important, like in our country and also our life. That's and we must like change the traditional way that we are feeding the animals, then change it to the modern feeding, so that we can produce at that time the animals that we are producing right now, and also like a healthier animals. So I wanted to stop this video here. So thank you for your watching, and also I am requesting you to subscribe my channel and share with your friends. Thank you, inshallah.